So again, it makes me wonder, what is it about our existence? What is it about our lives? What is it that drive us towards these substances to numb the pain of it all? You might say, like, a headache. Yeah, I have a terrible headache sometimes from which the future is made. But what is it about the future that causes this? What is it about our present living conditions that has us in so much pain? Maybe it's the fact that we're sitting and staring at computer screens. Maybe it's because we're sitting in our basements covered in Cheeto dust, eating the wrong things, drinking the wrong things, except for Diet Coke, that's totally okay. And playing video games for hours, hunched over, playing a video game about football or soccer, rather than out playing football and soccer. And then we're like, oh, I know I have all these health problems, I wonder why. And then what's our immediate solution? Let's turn to a pill. And that pill will relieve the suffering of the life that I've chosen. A big part of it is to feel. Should you feel pain? Yeah, pain is one of those things that motivates you. I feel terrible. And I look over and the bag of Doritos is empty. And I realize it was a brand new bag an hour ago. And I look over at all the Diet Coke bottles that are tossed into the corner. And I feel like crap. What is that feeling telling me? Time to change the diet a little bit. Time to change what I'm drinking, time to change how I'm behaving. The purpose of pain is not just to make your life miserable, it's to warn you about worse things to come. It always affects everything that you do, reverberates. There is no solitary act that impacts nobody. The question is, what kind of an impact are you going to have on people? And you're going to find that so often our desires to be comfortable creates difficult lives for people around us. Hard times create strong people. Strong people create easy times. Easy times create weak people. Weak people create hard times. It's this cycle that goes around. But even if you're in a weak time, that doesn't mean you have to be a weak person. Just because you're walking through a garden doesn't mean you can't be a warrior. Just because you're walking through a battlefield doesn't mean you can't be a scholar. You should be both. Be a warrior and a scholar. Also be gentle and kind. Be an intellectual. Be compassionate. Be firm and understanding. You know anybody like that? Good luck. They're unicorns. But when you find one, if they stand out. Yeah. Yeah. Man, we have this idea that weed is like this harmless thing. It doesn't affect anybody, and it's natural. Dude, remember guys, cyanide's natural also. Just because something is natural doesn't mean it's a good thing. And what we're finding out right now, because like we always say, the studies don't show, we haven't had like wide use studies of the effects that marijuana has. We're getting them right now because of the legalization. Now, I'll give you a heads up, it's really, really, really bad. Especially when you start using it when you're younger. And especially because when we talk about the lack of a negative impact of weed, we're talking about the stuff that your grandparents used to do or your parents used to do in the 60s, which is nowhere near the potency of what it is right now. And I guess I would think of it like, I don't know, I'm thinking of if I know any high performers. I don't mean like somebody who has a song that was probably written and produced by somebody else. I'm talking about like business high performers who do that stuff. It's hard to come across something that doesn't negatively impact. Like even like we're finding right now, one of the really severely negative effects of weed is that across the board, our research shows it makes you way less productive, way less productive. And if you've got like one person in a society who's less productive, that's one thing. And by that doesn't just affect you though. That affects your children, affects your family, affects your prospects, affects your job, affects everything. That's one person. If you start to multiply that out by 10, 20, 1,000, 10,000 people, and you see how a society becomes way less productive. It almost makes me wonder why it is that we have a society that would push us and encourage us into a direction of doing things like that distract us from reality, that make us less productive, that make us less competitive. Because what that means, therefore, is that people who don't do that stuff actually become more competitive. They become more productive. And so if you're at a massive disadvantage against the people who are not doing it. And it's funny because when you talk like this, people almost immediately tune you out. Whatever, it's it. But it's fun. Okay, but what does all of the research in the world show? Research. I don't need research. I've got my uncle. I don't need research. I've done it, so I know. Yeah, you know what it is right now, but like everything else, you know how it is right now at the summit. You don't know what it is when you are sliding into it. It's funny that it's one of those things that people will like argue and fight to defend. I almost wonder, why do you hold that one thing so closely? It's almost like you're addicted to it. It's almost like it's part of your personality. It's almost like your whole worldview depends on it. It's almost like you can't function in a day without it, without thinking about it. Think about the kinds of things that people will defend and fight for. It's so strange that all of a sudden pops up on people's lists as something to do. It's almost like it's one thing to be a Texas Rangers fan or a San Diego Padres fan and to have it on your hats. It's a weird thing to me that you'll put weed plants on your jackets. Like, look what I do. I ingest a substance. I tried. I can't find a jacket that has Diet Coke bottles on it. I've looked. It doesn't exist. And then I know that people will say, well, it helps you to cope with the world. And that's really what it is. It helps us to cope with existence. Do you get the it to which I'm referring here? That's the issue then. What is it about existence and about self-awareness that's so painful that we have to numb it with things? We're talking about addiction, and we're saying, yeah, there are medications that help us to deal with pain. So again, it makes me wonder, what is it about our existence? What is it about our lives? What is it that drive us towards these substances to numb the pain of it all? You might say, like, a headache. Yeah, I have a terrible headache sometimes from which the future is made. But what is it about the future that causes us? What is it about our present living conditions that has us in so much pain? Maybe it's the fact that we're sitting and staring at computer screens. Maybe it's because we're sitting in our basements covered in Cheeto dust, eating the wrong things, drinking the wrong things, except for Diet Coke. That's totally okay. And playing video games for hours, hunched over, playing a video game about football or soccer, rather than out playing football and soccer. And then we're like, oh, I know I have all these health problems. I wonder why. And then what's our immediate solution? Let's turn to a pill. And that pill will relieve the suffering of the life that I've chosen. Yeah, it's a physical suffering. There are worse sufferings, though. It's the mental suffering, the psychological suffering. Yeah, Ben.
I thought of what Marcus Aurelius said.
Good man. You should always do that, by the way.
He said something about how we could be in our bed and it could be really comfortable and we'd want to stay there, but is that really what we're meant to do?
Yeah. What is it to be human? A big part of it is to feel. Should you feel pain? Yeah. Yeah, pain is one of those things that motivates you. If I'm sitting there and I feel terrible, and I look over and the bag of Doritos is empty, and I realize it was a brand new bag an hour ago, and I look over at all the Diet Coke bottles that are tossed into the corner, and I feel like crap, what is that feeling telling me? Time to change the diet a little bit. Time to change what I'm drinking. Time to change how I'm behaving. The reason, the purpose of pain is not just to make your life miserable, it's to warn you about worse things to come. If I come over and I put my finger in you like this, you'll think it's weird, rightfully so. But if you don't move and you just sit there, eventually, this is not just going to bother you, it's going to hurt because your cells are breaking down. What most people will do is they'll be like, oh, stop. And we move just enough to stop that pain from happening. But this is warning you, something worse is coming unless you fix it. There's a difference in life between pain and injury. It's one of the most important lessons ever. I used to do this martial art called Sistema. Sistema is complete bullshit, but it's a lot of fun. A big part of it is taking, so we do like a 2-hour class, and the first hour of the class was breathing exercises, and you'd stand there and you'd just get the crap beaten out of you. That's not the fun part. The fun part is you start to learn the difference between pain and injury. If someone grabs you and they're squeezing your arm, that might be painful, but you're not injured. Somebody punches you in the face, that might be painful, but but you're not being injured. So you would stand there and you'd get these breathing exercises. It's a Russian martial art, so that will tell you everything you need to know about it. They would come around and you would get hit with like a bamboo stick or something like that, and you breathe it in and you take it, because you understand there's a difference between pain and injury. The worst parts, this one still bothers me. It's the only one that bothers me. Open hand slaps on your back. It comes, for some reason that one bothers me. But even now I get chills like, ooh. They come through and you work with your partner and you punch them, boom, and then they'd punch you in the body. And you'd just be taking body punches. What's the point of this? Is this some weird sadomasochistic club? No. It's that you learn that in a fight, there's a difference between pain and injury. If you're in pain, you work through it. You keep going. You don't stop. If you're about to be injured, someone's about to break your arm, you need to do something now to change that, to change the direction so that you don't have a broken arm. But you can be in pain and still keep going. And so the more comfortable you get with pain, the less it bothers you. You get comfortable being in uncomfortable positions. And this is why, then you then take that mindset and you apply it to a fight. And like, okay, I'm in a fight right now. Me and this person, we're tussling around. They're shoving their forearm in my face. Yeah, it hurts, but I'm not being injured. Even if they're shoving it in your face and you're about to lose a tooth because they're pushing your tooth in, you're being hurt. You're not being injured though. The tooth can be fixed, everything can be repaired. The real problem is when an injury is about to occur, and those are the kinds of things you have to react to. Pain, you understand, I have a purpose, I have a goal, I need to keep going on this path. Work through the pain. Okay, forget about fighting. Think about life generally now. If you take that same lesson and you apply it to life, you'll go through things in life. This is painful, mentally, psychologically, emotionally, intellectually. You may sit in a class and go, this is torture, man, this is painful. Okay, but you're not being injured. You can grow from the pain, because when you learn to overcome it, now you learn to overcome something in your life that you didn't know you could overcome 24 hours ago. So much of our life is geared towards comfort. If our air conditioning is off by 2 degrees, we're like, oh my God, it's freezing. Oh my God, it's hot. Oh, I'm so uncomfortable. Like we feel like we have this absolute right to be comfortable all the time. But as Benjamin asks, as Marcus Aurelius asks, is that the purpose of our life, to be comfortable? If the purpose of your life is to be comfortable, then your whole purpose, being drunk or high would be the supreme virtue of life. And by the way, for some people it is. But when you see it that way, okay, how about this? Any of us wish our parents were drunk and high more often? Any of us want to be raised by a person who is completely toasted all the time? Some of us are, and what's the effect of that? So then why is it that we would look at that life and go, wow, they just want to feel good all the time? Feeling good was the virtue. Shouldn't we celebrate them for doing that? But we recognize that so many of us are in terrible positions in life because we have family members who behave that way. It's not affecting anybody else except when you have to show up and bail them out of jail. Or when, it's not affecting anybody else except when you're the person who has to put the blanket over them because they passed out on the couch. And you're the person who has to get the siblings ready for school the next day or whatever. Of course, it always affects. Everything that you do reverberates. There is no solitary act that impacts nobody. The question is, what kind of an impact are you going to have on people? And you're going to find that so often our desire to be comfortable creates difficult lives for people around us. Hard times create strong people. Strong people create easy times. Easy times create weak people. And weak people create hard times. It's this cycle that goes around. But even if you're in a weak time, that doesn't mean you have to be a weak person. Just because you're walking through a garden doesn't mean you can't be a warrior. Just because you're walking through a battlefield doesn't mean you can't be a scholar. You should be both. Be a warrior and a scholar. Also be gentle and kind. Be an intellectual. Be compassionate. Be firm but understanding. You know anybody like that? Good luck. They're unicorns. But when you find one, they stand out. And so, in all of this, what you're finding is that there's always this thing creeping around, man. that little voice in your head, just relax today. Just take it easy today. Just be comfortable today. Is this really what life is about? Yeah. Life is going to be about whatever it is that you make it about. What do you want it to be about? You want to be comfortable? Because if the purpose of your life was to be found in a comfortable bed, I promise you, you would have found it by now. You've been there enough. Hey, anybody ever been laying in bed, all comfortable and warm, and go, I found the purpose of my life. I found the meaning of life laying right here. No. My cat, when I get home, he screams at me, Theodore, because what time is it when I get home? What time is it when I get home? It's cuddle o'clock. It's cuddle o'clock. So I get home and he comes out, tail up, he stretches, meow, meow. And I look at him, I go, get in there, cuddle right now. And he turns and he runs in the room, and I go lay in the bed, and he lays down and he just lays on me because it's cuddle o'clock. Sometimes it's a long cuddle o'clock. Today won't be a long cuddle o'clock. Yes, Wednesdays are short cuddle o'clocks because I have to go to Muay Thai early. But Thursdays, no, not so much. But like Monday, Tuesday, those are long cuddle o'clocks. He's so comfortable as he's laying there. That's because he doesn't know about the broader things. He doesn't have a greater purpose than that. Because nothing else is expected out of him. I don't expect him to go to work to pay the rent. My hands look like these, so his paws can be soft. So if the purpose of your life was to be comfortable, was to be found in a warm bed, you would have found it by now. The hard thing, the very difficult thing, I think maybe, is to get our mindset around that, because some of you are going through some hard times. I know you are. Even if we've never talked about it, I hear things, I know things. It's hard for me to say it in a way that maybe will make sense, but I hope it makes sense. It's good in this sense that you can use it to make yourself better, to make yourself stronger. You'll be stronger than people who didn't go through soft things. You're paying for it right now. You'll be able to reap the benefits later. Some people are reaping the benefits right now by being comfortable, but they're going to pay for it later. I guess the question is, which would you rather do? Pay for it now and benefit later, or benefit now and pay for it the rest of your life? And if you're a thinking person, if you're wise, you'll recognize it's better to pay now and not to have to later, but still have the choice to. Because what doesn't kill you has the opportunity to make you stronger. It's a choice, though. What do you use it for? It's like anything else. I asked you guys in the first week of this class, why are we here? Why do we study this whole English language arts thing? What's the purpose of it? And some of us with dead eyes say, for a better future, to get a degree, to enjoy life. No, the purpose of this class, I know this will be a shock to all of you because you love this place so much, but the purpose of this class is not to make you happy. I think I even told you guys in the first week, this class is not a safe space. When I say that, people clutch their pearls. What did he just say? Yeah, this class is not a safe place because you don't grow in safety. You don't grow in comfort. All that you grow in is weakness. And so, what you make of these things will be up to you. You don't need a devil, perhaps, because the devil, you carry it with you. He chills on your shoulder. Don't go to the gym today. Just take it easy. You have to rest sometime. Yeah. You have to rest sometime. I don't know about you guys. I'm over my quota on resting. Yeah, but you have to eat sometime. Yeah, you guys should see my diet from the past week. I am over my quota on eating. But what I've not yet reached my quota for yet is work. Because I love myself. As much as I can. As much as anybody can. And it's a good thing, right? Because otherwise nobody would. You have to love yourself. And if you love yourself, then you have to love your nature. That means you're going to have to do what your nature demands you to do. My nature demands I be a teacher. I don't want it. But for some reason, every time I show up somewhere, I find myself teaching. I left my old gym because I don't want to teach anymore. I went to a new gym. I was proud of myself. I got a week and a half into that new gym before I started teaching. Yeah, I'm very proud of myself. Right now, I'm like, I just told I don't want to teach anymore. I can train there for free if I just teach one class a week. One class a week, I'm like, I'll just pay. I'll just pay for it. It's no problem. Instead, now I find myself after class with people around me. How do you do this? What about this? How'd you do this? Okay, fine. Work on it. Why? Because it's my nature, it's what I have to do. Some of you guys, your nature is as a teacher. Some of you guys, your nature is as a nurturer. Some of you guys, your nature is, I'm sorry to say, an accountant. Find out what your nature is and then pursue it, because people who love what they do, they wear themselves out doing it. You guys ever come in and see me? Yeah, I know you have. And they're going like, "How you doing today, Scott?" Dude, every day's Christmas. Snap out of it. Let's go. And you guys, how many teachers you know do pre-workout before they teach? Because because I have to love my nature. Because if you don't love your nature, you can't love yourself. If you don't love yourself, you can't love the world. If you can't love the world, you can't make real connections with people around you. And so if you love yourself, then do what your nature demands. You're over your quota on everything except for the thing that builds you up as a human being. So become the thing that you were meant to be. And in that, you'll find satisfaction, contentment. I don't know if you'll find happiness. I'm not even sure what that thing is. I don't even know why we spell it with an I instead of a Y. So I can't tell you much about it, but I can tell you that you will find a meaning and a purpose, and in all of that, you'll find a reason to keep going. And then you're going to recognize more clearly than ever that little voice of the devil, because you'll know it's the devil, because it's the devil that's telling you, don't follow your purpose. Don't follow your meaning. Just here's a distraction. Questions? Comments, concerns, complaints, criticisms, critiques? Happy Thursday.